A man is floating alone in the open ocean. No land. No boat. Just silence and deep blue water beneath him. Then something moves. Not a ripple. Not a shadow. A pressure wave so powerful it shoves his entire body sideways before he even sees it. And then it emerges. 100 feet of living muscle, gliding past him like a planet with a heartbeat. This is a blue whale. 400,000 pounds of animal. Bigger than any dinosaur that ever touched this earth. Bigger than the megalodon. Bigger than anything that has ever existed in the entire history of life on this planet. And what this creature is actually capable of will make a person question everything they thought they knew about size, power, and survival. But first, the size has to be felt properly. The second largest animal in the world is the fin whale. A creature so enormous it makes every land animal alive today look like a toy. Now cut it in half. That is still only half the weight of a blue whale. 200 tons. 100 feet long. There is the blue whale. And then there is everything else. And the gap between them is not close. Here is something that sounds impossible, but is completely true. Blue whales are mammals. They breathe air exactly like a human does. So if one were pulled onto dry land, its lungs would work perfectly fine. But it would be dead in under 10 minutes. Not from suffocation. From its own weight crushing it into the ground. At 400,000 pounds. Bone simply fails. The skeleton collapses. The animal destroys itself just by existing outside the water. But in the ocean, everything changes. Water pushes back. That upward force almost perfectly cancels gravity. And suddenly the size limit that governs every land animal on Earth disappears entirely. The whale is free to grow. And that freedom creates an immediate, brutal problem. 400,000 pounds needs to be fed every single day. A great white shark spots a seal. Accelerates. Bites. Simple. But try doing that at 400,000 pounds. Moving that much mass through dense water burns calories faster than almost any hunting strategy can replace them. If the largest animal in the world chased fast prey, it would starve itself hunting. So nature built something so strange it almost sounds like a punchline. The largest creature in the history of Earth survives by eating the smallest creatures in the ocean. Krill. Barely an inch long. Almost microscopic. And the blue whale eats them by the millions using the most extreme feeding mechanism in the entire animal kingdom. When a blue whale finds a massive swarm of krill, it accelerates its 400,000 pound body directly at it. Opens its mouth to nearly 90 degrees. A cavern the size of a living room. And its throat explodes outward. Deep folds of skin called ventral pleats expand in seconds. And the whale gulps down 20,000 gallons of water in a single mouthful. That water weighs nearly as much as the whale itself. The ocean literally bends to feed this animal. Then the mouth snaps shut. That 60,000 pound tongue, as heavy as an entire elephant, presses upward and forces all the water back out through the baleen plates. The water leaves. The millions of krill stay. One single lunge delivers over 450,000 calories. The whale does this over and over until it has consumed 8,000 pounds of krill in a single day. Now here is the question everyone is really asking. What happens if a person ends up in that swarm at the wrong moment? A diver is 50 feet down, surrounded by krill. When a shadow the size of a building accelerates out of the dark, there is no time. The mouth opens. 20,000 gallons of water rushes in and the diver goes with it. The jaws close. Total darkness. For centuries people imagined this as the beginning of a slow, horrifying death inside a massive stomach. But here is the truth. Despite having the largest mouth of any animal alive, a blue whale's throat is only about the size of a grapefruit. It physically cannot swallow a human being. The diver is just trapped inside, in pitch blackness. As 60,000 pounds of tongue begins forcing everything toward the exit, then the whale realizes something is very wrong. The mouth cracks open, and the diver gets violently spat back into the freezing ocean. there is actually a chance they survive. There is also a chance the force of the water crushes or drowns them first. Either way, the whale was never trying to kill them. It is not an aggressive animal. Unless it has to be. The blue whale has no teeth, no claws, no venom. Every predator in the ocean carries a weapon. The great white has serrated teeth. The orca has intelligence and pack tactics. The blue whale has one thing: a tail, 25 feet wide, pure muscle. One direct strike produces kinetic energy equivalent to being hit by a school bus at full speed. Nothing in the ocean survives that. Every predator knows it. This is why the blue whale has essentially zero natural predators. Even lions hunt elephants. Nothing hunts the blue whale. But what about the megalodon? The largest shark that ever lived. An animal whose entire evolutionary purpose was to hunt and kill giant whales. At 50 feet long, the megalodon is only half the blue whale's length and roughly a third of its weight. And here is where it falls apart. The megalodon's teeth max out at 7 inches. A blue whale's blubber is over a foot thick. The most powerful bite in planetary history sinks in and never reaches muscle. The shark gets a mouthful of fat. Then the whale turns around and one tail strike hits a skeleton made entirely of cartilage. Not bone. Cartilage. And that is the end of the fight. A smart megalodon would look at a fully grown blue whale and simply swim away. And that is almost certainly what happened. Today the only animal that even attempts to hunt blue whales is the orca. But orcas are intelligent enough to know they cannot take an adult. So they go after calves. A pod bites at fins. Tries to cover the blowhole. Here's chunks of blubber away. Against almost any other whale. This works. But the mother does not turn to fight. She just swims. Full speed. The orcas latch onto her fins to slow her down and she drags their combined weight through the ocean. Without flinching. For as long as it takes, until the orcas run their own calculation and reach the only honest conclusion. They cannot kill this. They let go and fall behind. So if nothing can stop it from growing, why does it stop at 100 feet? Because biology runs out of answers. A 200-foot whale would need so many calories that the ocean could not produce enough krill in one place to sustain it. Its heart could not push blood through twice as many miles of blood vessels during a dive. The muscles at its tail would suffocate, and the tendons driving that tail would tear themselves apart just trying to move that much mass through water. The blue whale is not 100 feet long by accident. That is the absolute physical maximum that the laws of this planet allow. Nature pushed life all the way to the edge of what is possible. And the blue whale is where it stopped. And somehow within all of that, this animal is still full of things that make no sense. Its blubber, the same foot-thick layer that would stop a megalodon's teeth, traps internal heat so effectively that the whale risks overheating in water that is literally below freezing. So it pumps warm blood to the surface of its fins and uses the Arctic Ocean as a cooling system. Its armor is also its radiator. And the heart, the size of a golf cart. At the surface, 40 beats per minute. But the moment it dives deep, that heart drops to 2 beats per minute. 30 seconds of silence between each beat. The whale consciously dims itself down to the lowest possible flicker of life, shuts blood flow to non-essential areas, and reserves every molecule of oxygen for the brain and the muscles needed to swim. It makes itself almost dead on purpose, does what it needs to do, and then brings itself back. Its voice hits 188 decibels. A jet engine causes permanent hearing damage at 140. At 188, sound stops being sound and becomes a physical force moving through water. The blue whale does not just call across the ocean. It shakes it. This animal, this record holder, this physical limit of what life on Earth can produce, is quietly disappearing. Not from predators, from plastic, from ship strikes, from noise pollution scrambling the calls it uses to find mates across hundreds of miles of open water. The largest creature that has ever existed is being undone by the smallest decisions. If this video made the ocean feel bigger and stranger than it did before, subscribe, because there are more stories from the deep that deserve to be told. Drop a comment with what hit hardest: the lunge feeding, the 2-beat heart, or the megalodon getting stopped by a foot of fat. And if someone in your life needs to understand what they are sharing this planet with, send them this video right now. The blue whale does not know it is extraordinary. It just keeps swimming, keeps pushing forward, dragging everything behind it without slowing down. There is something worth remembering in that.